Imagine the term trashy often being associated with the place that you call home. These perceptions have diminished and defined the communities of Weston and Rexdale. However, when I look at these communities, I see a home to immigrant families, a home for everyone, and opportunities for all. Rexdale and Weston define several areas within two neighborhoods by Highway 427 divided by Highway 401 in the middle. Some places that may help you ring a bell are the Weston King and historic Weston Library. You may also know Rexdale for the Albion Mall and the flea market. These are the neighborhoods where Nav and Drake grew up as well.
The combined population of Rexdale and Weston is 112,000. The first residents here were the English and Scottish. Today, they are multicultural communities with immigrants from the Caribbean and South Asia. 62% of the residents are visible minorities. The negative perceptions have left the residents here with overwhelming financial struggles. Today in this video, I would like to highlight the impacts of this on food insecurity and mental health. 1 in 5 people in Canada experience mental health issues, and 697 million people are food insecure. When new immigrant families first moved here, they struggled to find access to quality education. This led to lack of opportunities, low incomes, and food insecurity. And so even their young generation struggles to get access to opportunities. An outsider assumes that either we don't have access to education or that we just aren't skilled enough. The City of Toronto recognizes both Weston and Rexdale as neighborhood improvement areas. They state that food insecurity affects 1 in 5 Toronto households, so they are working on programs for youth to foster leadership skills as well as determine food growing practices. They are also working on addressing youth violence and mental health issues. Over the last few years, Weston and Rexdale have undergone many struggles. My family and I used to frequent the Woodbine Mall, but for the last 2 years, lots of businesses have been shutting down. Major chains have been taking over local family-owned restaurants, further fueling unemployment. New small startups also don't get funding. Due to COVID-19, big retailers in the Albion Mall also shut down. Imagine the struggles of smaller businesses. The weekend farmers market also shut down, contributing to food insecurity.
In Rexdale, an LRT is being built. The funds are redirected from green spaces and issues of insecurity into community expansion projects. Since the LRT will be ready by 2023, people are waiting to make sales, anticipating an increase in the prices. Hence, they're choosing to rent out properties. Even after the Weston Up Express GO station came up, many people couldn't afford it. Many residents got pushed out of their homes, and access to public transport got further out of reach. The bridge created a more explicit divide. It also led to an increased cost of living, but is there a direct increase in their income? 23% of people in Rexdale and Weston here are living in poverty. 43% spend more than 1/3 of their income on housing. Due to the lack of proper education and food insecurity, residents are unable to afford to live in these communities. This contributes to them being unable to sustain their businesses and being able to keep them going. Many larger corporations believe that the solution is to create jobs, but in the end, they're just taking away from the smaller businesses.
The residents feel that the prices for food and basic necessities have inflated. The opportunities in the communities are being overlooked by the rising crime rates. In fact, students have to wear cheaper clothing and make sure they were hidden so that they wouldn't get robbed. Social media also perpetuates this stigma through memes and exaggerated news. Living and attending school in these communities, I can say that there are no actual ghettos here. However, sadly, these memes become a trend and create negative perceptions. In fact, these communities are popular in films too. Shazam was partly shot in Woodbine Mall, as well as Silent Hills 2.
The real issue is the lack of acknowledgement and attention given to the multifold impact of stigma. This leads to food insecurity and the deterioration of mental health. Oftentimes, even when we don't want to believe the stigma, it keeps us concerned and cautious. Our parents, for example, prevent us from staying out late at night. However, when working with local neighborhood organizations, I've never faced any of these problems. This made me realize that stigmas are usually exaggerated and often lead to mental health issues and food insecurity. A small step in addressing this is our project, Westdale Blooms. It aims to educate residents about the opportunities available to them and to beautify the green spaces in the communities. We aim to play a role in bettering our communities of Rexdale and Weston through our project, Westdale Blooms, because no stigmas can overpower the opportunity and needs in a community.